circle down square. Up, circle down square.
Yeah. Already I'm knowing what you ain't used to. How you set the standards from shit that you used to stoop to. Avoiding all the damage and types that you used to shoot to. Got no room for baggage, little baby, I'm in a coat too. College educated, so nah, I won't lecture. Self-sabotage, I won't let you. Figuring it out, no problem, I won't test you. We got plenty time, no pressure. I don't even need much, baby, I make do. Never speaking on nothing I can't relate to.
What's up, Mavericks? It's your boy Lavas May, and that was Twin Jackson of Overall 99 Cheat Code on Spotify right now. And as y'all see, it's simple to tell what we're talking about today. It's that, yes, Jaleel White, aka Urkel. Let's read what it said. Jaleel White says legacy as Steve Urkel is left out of black entertainment. If it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. I was a symbol of nerd culture. First off, Living Single, Fresh Prince, In Different Worlds, Cosby Show. Almost every black show is not hood culture. Specifically during your time. If you had that argument for now, I would give it to you. But specifically back in the 90s, there was no hood culture pandemic going on. That came more in like 2004 and 3. So I don't know what he's saying. But let's try to break this down a little more. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Jaleel is a little insecure, worried about his spot in history? He said he was a symbol of nerd culture. So I'm trying to understand what he's saying. I think he's saying black nerd culture was frowned upon in the 90s. True. Especially in the hood. If you grew up in the hood, being a nerd in the hood is frowned upon. But I think he overlooks the fact that in 2024, wearing the girl down is frowned upon. Still a practice, but it's frowned upon. So that show would still get a different type of hate now. The nerd aspect of Urkel would not be hated. It might be embraced, especially if he was more into really nerdy things. Because let's be honest, Urkel just looked like a nerd. He wasn't really, he did no nerdy things. Think about it. What did Urkel actually do but wear overall? He literally just wore overalls and glasses. Epitome of what we think a nerd is. Just for a TV show. Because it really, beyond that, the show originally was a deeper show, but it became his show. And it lacked a lot of substance once it became his show. Because I remember the early season, Family Matters was deep. I love Family Matters, especially the early season. But it became more about Urkel as he got more popular. So he is a symbol of black entertainment culture, comic culture, that nerd, that beginning of nerd culture being accepted in black community. He has a big part. But at the same time, you have to understand that your show lacked a substance that a lot of other shows didn't. All the other shows had a distinct thing about them. And your show did too, but it evolved into something else in which the show wasn't as popular as the others. It's just the way it is. I love Family Matters when I was little, but as I grew older, I probably did respect it less than I did the other show. It was probably behind Martin and Fresh Prince to me, and Living Single probably. And then it probably became lesser and lesser. Like A Different World, I appreciated much more when I got older and went to college and did other things. Whereas before, when I was a kid, I loved Family Matters way more. You couldn't even argue with me. So I get what he's saying, though. And he shouldn't feel like this because his character is immortalized. His character is amazing. His character did change things. He is solidified in black entertainment culture, despite how you feel about her, despite how it aged, anything else. It is important to black culture. He should feel proud of that. But then you get into the problem I have with him where he start making excuses where like it was a symbol of nerd culture when it really wasn't a nerdy show. I will always say that it wasn't that nerdy. Jaleel, your show wasn't nerdy. You just wore the outfit. You didn't play cards. You didn't do none of the nerdy things. You didn't even do the Sheldon Cooper and do physicists and nerdy homework. Eddie didn't even bully you to do his homework as much. Once you became the star of the show, Eddie didn't bully you at all. He couldn't bully you. You was the star of the show. Eddie would look bad in the 90s. So it was no growth in the show. Your character didn't grow. I watched Will Smith's character grow through the year. Despite even if I had problems with it, I saw in different world characters grow. Your character didn't grow because you got too big for the show, really. The show became more about you and Laura and Maya in that situation. Which is that was such a weird dynamic too. Once you look back at it, you had a beautiful woman who loved you, but you rather try to wear down your childhood crush. Now, I'm not one to tell a man to give up, but sometimes you lose sight. I don't think that was a good sign. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't think that was a great rendition. If you got somebody that's crazy for you, but you paint her as really crazy just to justify her not being with you, even though when she first started, she was just crazy over her heels for you. But instead, let's make her a psycho just so you can wear down this girl that you liked for a long time. It comes off as weird. I'm just saying, as you got older, it did. Like, it ain't even my thing about wearing down somebody. Like I said, I'm not a person to tell you to give up. But the wearing down is kind of weird when you do it every day. It's kind of creepy, especially when you have somebody that already love you in that show. So I think a lot of the tropes that it initially did in Family Matters, the first season, I think it did happen to add on, if you know what I'm saying. So I don't think the show has looked. So I get where he's coming from. After talking it out with y'all, I thank y'all for listening to my diatribe as I go through 31 days, and I'm getting back in the groove of doing this YouTube thing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that. But as I get used to it, I'm thinking about it because I'm working this out with you. That's the goal of Zell's theories, right? Zell works out with you, and we work out our ideas. And the more I think about it, the more he is right that the show kind of plateaued in the minds of people as it went on. You can find yourself cringing at times at watching some of the episodes as you got on. Some of the episodes I remember loving, I cringed at when I got like high school and college. As time went on, you do find yourself in it. So I get what he's saying. Because the show is part of our childhood. The show did teach us things. It did some amazing things. It did raise nerd culture, even though technically he wasn't a nerd. Like I keep saying that because he wasn't. I used to always think that too. I'm like, yo, he does no nerdy thing. Early season he did. But like I said, once he got too big, it's a repeat. I don't need to repeat that. I do want to know y'all thoughts on this. How do y'all feel about this? You feel Jaleel White is right? Is it left out of Black and Tan? I don't think it's left out. I think he's wrong about that, but I do feel like it's lessened over time. And do you think that's fair? Because I don't. I think at the time, Urkel was needed. I think Urkel did say it was cool to be the nerd. It was the first show to do that. Well, a Different Worlds kind of did it too. I think about it. Which one did it better? Because the nerd in that show did get the girl, and it wasn't a wear down thing. It was just like a more natural thing. And by the way, I do not hate the show because I keep saying it, but I did not dislike the show because Urkel became the main star. I did think it lost substance, but I don't know if the show would got it big without Urkel. That influence, that thing. I don't know if it would got big. Could Eddie hold it down? Could Carl Winslow hold it down? No. Who was going to be the star? Because every other show had standouts. Well, Living Single had a superstar already. Fresh Prince had a superstar already. Martin had a superstar already. A Different World didn't have quite a superstar, but it had standouts. And Tupac was also in it. Jada and them went in it too. So every show had that standout person. Who was going to be the standout for Family Matters to keep that substance on it? Who would it have been? Jaleel White stepped up. So I think his character as Urkel should be respected. Although, like I said, I have problems with the character. The character has flaws. Every character has flaws. As we grow and we learn. But I think Family Matters as a show probably did end up lacking substance because I think the original point of the show got lost. And I do think that might be unfair to him because he had to step up to make the show popular. And they never really adjusted the writing to that. Instead of Family Matters, it became the Steve Urkel show. As it probably should have been. He stepped up. Let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. All of that. I do appreciate y'all. We doing an episode every day. Tomorrow is Casual Conversation. Friday, I will be doing a Zell Reacts, not Zell Theory. We've been having a bunch of Zell Theories. We having a Zell Reacts. And Zell's going to react to something I think is very important about black masculinity and how we should feel. I know this how y'all looking. Ooh, that's how y'all looking at it. Y'all excited for that. Hope y'all be there for Friday. So anybody be there Friday. It will probably be recorded, so it won't be live because I had to get all my thoughts out quickly. I do appreciate y'all for watching. Peace.